Well, it's been a rough couple of weeks. I just about cut my finger off with a hedge trimmer. Stupid. Our dog ate a raw potato and just about died. Had to spend the night at the hospital. What else? I don't even know. My blood pressure's through the roof. And getting old ain't for pussies, that's for sure. Today, let's make a couple brake lines. I prefer to use the old school, bend them, cut them to length, flare them as you need them. I don't really get into the braided stuff or the rolls that you have to unroll and mess with. I like the old school stuff. So let's make a brake line. Here we go. So for bending, I have one of these. These are pieces of crap. You don't need them. I'll show you how to do it without this. Don't buy one of these. So the fastest way to screw one of these up is by bending the tubing without making sure your fitting's on the end. Can't tell you how many times I've done it. Find something that's round. It could be the small chuck. That's about a 6-inch diameter, so 3-inch radius. But this one on my tailstock seems to work pretty good. What I do is I just put the fitting right up where it needs to go. Give it a bend. Just like that. Nice and smooth. No kinks. You don't need one of those stupid benders. They don't really do much of anything. So let's, we're going to have to cut this and flare it. It's way too long. So let's just start bending. Okay, so here's something else. A lot of guys will tell you to use Teflon on your fittings. Anytime I'm putting a fitting into a piece of aluminum, I do not use Teflon. Teflon's very slippery. It will give you a false sense of torque, and you can crack the aluminum. I use blue Loctite. I've always used blue Loctite. I've never had one leak. So, to each his own, I guess. First thing I have to do is I have to get around this bracket. It'd be a lot easier if I just took the tires off this car. Let's do that. Okay, so now that I have the tires off, you can see that I already have one made. I did this one a while ago. So today we're going to go from this caliper. We're going to bend around here, then we're going to come through here. Probably have to bend under the pumpkin, and then we're going to end up here. I think. Sure, why not? Yeah, we'll end up there. I was thinking about dropping it there, and then that would make an easier transition. We'll see how much line we have. This is going to be the trickiest one of the batch because everything else just goes straight to the front of the car. All right, I'm going to keep bending here, and I'll get back with you. so I went ahead and just used the rear end to bend the radius. It looks like I'm going to come out right about there. So now I know where I need to cut it, and then we'll flare that side. All right, so this is a tubing flaring tool. How it works is you make sure you put your fitting on first. What you're going to do is you're going to put the end of the tube in here, just slightly proud. Snug it up a tick. And this piece here, if you can see, it's got a little edge right here. Well, that's your gauge for how proud it needs to be. So what we're going to do now, I like to use my Bridgeport as a workbench. It's a nice solid base. What we're going to do now is we're going to stick that in there. I'm going to tighten the wing nuts up because arthritis. Okay. So now what you're going to do is you're going to put this little piece on inside the tubing. And you're going to grab your little tool here. Again, make sure your fitting's on, because there's two times when you ruin one. It's when you bend it without the fitting in, and when you flare it without the fitting in. So what you're going to do is you're going to run this down until that little sleeve hits the base. Pull that out, pull that out. And this is what's known as a single flare. But what we want is a double flare. So we're not done yet. So now what we do is we just do it again, but without our little tool here. Just going to set it in there. And we're going to run her down. Again, till it gets tight. You can put a little grease on it sometimes, that'll help, but I don't usually worry too much about it. Take it out. Find my fitting. And right there is a double flare. All right, well, we've gone from the calipers on both sides now. This is not touching anything. It's not rubbing on anything. I may make a small bracket someplace, but it's not very long. But I do have an opportunity to attach it to a one of the differential studs poking out right here. So I'll probably do that. That's right about in the middle. That'll be a nice support for it. This certainly doesn't need any support. This is a hardtail dragster, so nothing goes anywhere. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bend around, down, and then underneath the car and shoot forward to the master cylinder. All right, well, that's 2 out of 3 lines done. I won't bore you with the the long one. It's just two bends here and one bend on the end. So it's actually two pieces spliced together. So then we're going to bleed the brakes. And after that, we're pretty much down to wiring. So got lots of time. The tracks are all closed for the winter. So we have until April to get the wiring done. I'm going to probably do the wiring in either Thanksgiving vacation or Christmas vacation. Got some other stuff I need to do, hopefully without hurting myself. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you have subscribed to my channel, thank you very much. I have one video that has almost 2,000 views. I'm astonished. It's 5 months old, and out of the blue, it just took off. It's the weirdest thing. Thank you all very much for that. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please, please do. I would really appreciate it. One more thing. I have a Facebook page, No Car Left Behind. Come and find me. Send me a friend request and post up a picture of your car, your project, whatever you're doing. As always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.